So you may have noticed that as of late the channel has been, well, slightly dead. I haven't uploaded a drone video in quite a while. Now there is a reason for that, and that is GCSEs. So the past couple of weeks I have been doing my GCSEs, and they've kind of been occupying 99.999 recurring percent of my life for the past several months. But now that that is over, I'm going to go and try to put as much effort into making videos as I can. So without further ado, today I have been planning a review of the Slick Revolution Dual Max e-board. Myself and my friend both have one. And it's essentially the UK equivalent of the boosted board, and it's also half the price. So obviously with that there's some drawbacks and there's also some advantages. So yeah. I know with the music and all that sounded like the end of a montage. It isn't. It just sounded good. So the weather has taken a significant turn for the worse. It's rather damp, but that's not a problem for the boosted. The Slick Revolution Dual Max e-board. I'll just call it the boosted. If I accidentally call it the boosted, you know what I mean. Because it is, quote, British weatherproof. I.e. it can cope with rain, the odd splash and puddles and things, and kind of spray off wet ground. But obviously you can't submerge it. I mean, that's just logic really. So, despite the weather, the show must go on. For change of location, we are currently in my friend Elliot's house. He also has a Dual Max e-board. So let's talk about the specs. It comes equipped with two 1200 watt brushless motors that power both the rear wheels, and that gives it an awful lot of power. It has two different modes, regular and sport. In regular you're limited to 10 miles per hour. For those of you in the rest of the world, that's about 16 kilometers per hour. Whilst the sport mode, you can reach speeds of up to 25 miles an hour, and that's about 14 kilometers per hour. Has a range of about 8 miles or 13 kilometers. Another nice feature that it has is regenerative braking. So when you're going down hills, if you put the brakes on, the battery will kind of charge. Talking about hills, you can climb 10 to 20% gradients, which, unless you live in San Francisco, is completely adequate. As for dimensions, it's a 3-foot longboard, or 36 inches, by about 10 3/4 inches wide, by about 5.5 inches off the ground. For those of you in the rest of the world, that is 91.5 centimeters, 27.4 centimeters, and 14 centimeters. This is quite heavy. This is one of the downsides compared to the boosted. It weighs 18 pounds and 11 2/10 of an ounce, which is quite heavy, that's 8.5 kilograms. There is also a rider weight limit, and that weight is 16 stone. For those of you in the US, that's 224 pounds, and for those of you in the rest of the world, that is 100 kilograms approximately. We have down here, we have the charging port, which is a kind of proprietary system. But what's also fancy is we have a USB Type 3 port, so from this port you can charge devices like mobiles. You can also charge the controller, which I don't have handy. I don't know where it's gone. We also have the power button. This will display whether it's on, the red light, and it'll show you the charge. I'm currently on 50% because there's 2 green dots. There is also a charge indicator on the controller, so when the battery is full it'll be green, 50% it'll go to orange, and then when it's on about 10% or so it'll go down to red, and then the slick revolution will die, which is sad. This pavement is horrendous for booster boards. Alright. And it died. That's great. No life. Still trying. It's a good job I can still ride the skateboard, or the booster board, like a normal skateboard, because otherwise I'd be a bit stuck. So I realised during editing that I may have neglected to talk about the build quality of the board and how it feels to actually ride it. So I thought I would include that just in this section at the end. So overall, the board is, the grip tape is like a gigantic ultra-violent emery board. I have grazed myself on it just from kind of doing that, which is good because it means that your feet stick to the board really well. The bamboo feels very nice, high quality. The wheels are nice and smooth, on smooth roads of course, not that there are many in this country. And yeah, it's overall it's a very high quality. The board itself is high quality. Now, the same can't be said for the controller. The controller, well, kind of feels a bit, it's a bit kind of plasticky. It feels like you could kind of, doesn't feel the most kind of satisfying to hold, which is one of the downsides. With that said, I have fallen off the board before and slammed this straight into concrete or tarmac, and it's been completely fine. So say what you will with that. The wrist strap just goes around your wrist, obviously, and that is nice because if you do fall, it's not going to go far. It has 3 lights. One tells you the controller charge, one tells you whether it's connected to the board or not, and it also tells you what the board's battery is on. We have the button at the top here to turn it on and off, and to get it into sport mode you push the throttle forwards and then press that down, and that turns it into sport mode. It feels like when you're accelerating with this, it feels like you've got to the top, but then there's actually just a bit more that if you just press it a bit harder, and the board will actually go a bit faster there, which is nice. I have noticed some minor cracking with the board. Hang on, let me focus. So you can just see along here, there is a bit where the lamination has kind of just broken away slightly. It doesn't seem to affect it, and Slick Revolution do have very good customer service. They do have very good customer service, and if anything does break, you can just send it back to them, and it's a 1-year guarantee, so that's all good. How the board feels to ride, well, I can say that these wheels are very, very nice. I believe they're 80mm wheels, don't quote me on that. And you certainly feel when you're carving that they are sticking to that ground. So these do make you feel just that bit safer, which is very good. It copes admirably over bumpy roads and gravel. There's a couple of gravel tracks that have taken it down near me, and it has coped very well. So that's about all I've filmed. So overall thoughts of the board, very good board, and at half the price of the boosted, it's so good. I couldn't recommend it more. It does have its flaws, but doesn't everything. Almost forgot to say, one of its biggest flaws and unfortunate points is it can't reverse. So if you are on a tight street and you're thinking about turning around, unless you can tilt far enough that you can do a U-turn, you're not going to be able to do a 3-pointer. You will have to pick it up, which is a downside, but other than that, it's... And yeah, tell me if you have one of these, tell me what you think about it. I would love to hear from you guys. Personally, I'm more than happy with it. It has been wonderful. So I'll leave it at that, and I'll see you in the next video. Also, sorry that it's late. I had to do quite a bit of editing with this, and I've also been quite busy recently, so yeah, sorry it's late, and hope you enjoyed.